Hello, Orlando. Thank you for your patience, everybody. You guys have been just chilling. This is absolutely fantastic. Welcome to the creator stage. If you are within the sound of my voice, this is the heart and soul of the content creator community here at MegaCon Orlando. Gather around, all of you gamers, streamers. We got a very special panel we're kicking off today with. The gentlemen on the stage are from Remnant Gamers, Jacksonville's premier broadcasting team. Today they're going to be going over how to start streaming video games. So whether you are streaming to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whether you have an Xbox, a PlayStation, a PC, or a Switch, these gentlemen, Remnant Gamers, are going to be covering it all. From useful information like tech you need to use, how to gain followers, and many other great tips. So please, huge Orlando, round of applause for our first panel of the day, the Remnant Gamers.
Awesome intro, thank you.
Check, check. Hello, yo,
Test
welcome.
1, 2.
Thank you, everyone.
That was the nicest intro I think I've ever had in my life.
Oh my
I was
god,
gonna say, yeah. Normally it's just up like, hey everybody, how's it going? We do the streaming. Do you want to do the streaming?
As you guys see, the stream process is a working process always. If you're not having technical issues, you're not streaming. Right. So, and of course, in a short period of time, most of us probably just walked in the door this morning. Am I right? So yeah, so did we. That's just how it goes. We have a short video for you. The audio is a little quiet. I apologize, but here it is. This was edited together by our good buddy John over here in the very end.
Hi, I'm Jono.
I wonder if I can make that jump. I doubt it. Did I get him? What?
Now you're called Daggerhead. That's what all your friends are gonna call you now. Because you got daggers in your head. Jonathan, that cool? You guys like that? Is that cool? Alright, let's check it.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. Silver Monkey.
You're gonna get yours. Calling my shot like Babe Ruth. Let's do this.
Don't worry, I'm slowly coming back.
Oh!
Okay, I tried 3.
Okay. Got one. Oh. Oh, you did. And I'm out? What the Whoa! What the Disney Princess! That's even more meaningful in VR! I'm a Disney Princess! Oh no! Oh, I'm on fucking fire!
What did we learn?
Look for fire.
I can't yo-yo. Listen, I got you. I got you. I got a super exclusive trick just for you. Anyone can do it. So you take it, and then you I eat robot soup. It's healthy because it's full of nuts. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Hello.
I'm making 4 grenades. Ooh. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
What happens?
And who might you be? Dad! Get him, get him, get him, get him. Spider-Man can get down too. Can we get
I
like
was never
a
allowed
Golden
to
Corral
do
simulator
that.
game?
Golden Corral sim.
I was
It starts off where you go into Golden Corral and you're like, can I get some can I get some mashed potatoes? And the lady's like, ain't no more mashed potatoes, baby, just green beans and corn. And you're like, fuck this, I'm opening my own restaurant. What does the pee-pee do? Live your best geek life, play games, read comics, watch anime, geek responsibly. Peace.
We had the audio broadcast, the most important part.
Yes. The best part. Last part.
Excellent.
So, we have a very brief presentation for you, but the basic idea is, we want to get as many people who are interested in streaming and doing what we enjoy doing so much to the point where they feel like they can do it, at least to some extent. And so we're just going to walk through this real quick. By the way, there is a giveaway form. We'll have your information here. If we don't meet up with you at the end of the panel for the giveaway, we'll be choosing someone. It's got your email information in there. We'll make sure we get you something. We're going to be giving away some T-shirts and stuff like that. Yep. So be sure to get that. If you guys need it later, see us after the panel. Not a big deal. All right. So there's where the video would usually be. So we'll just click on that and go to the next thing. Bing, bong, ready to go. All right. So you want to stream video games? What's up?
You want to leave the QR code up while we intro? While we at least do the beginning talking?
Oh, no.
Yeah, give
them a minute
yeah.
to QR code.
Okay. All right. There's a slide for the intro, though.
Oh, well.
Just go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, continue.
So he has a plan.
Yeah, no, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Lesson 1, always be prepared. That's what
Always.
we're trying to, that's what we want to establish first and foremost here.
So what we're going to talk about in brief is, of course, who we are. We're going to get a little bit of information about who's watching right now, talk to you guys, talk to you a little bit about equipment. As you guys can see, I brought some equipment with me, and we're using, of course, some broadcasting software. What you want to make as far as content, and then going even further with that, beyond just, hey, this is fun streaming, let's talk about branding and getting down to, what works and what doesn't work. And a little bit of Q&A at the end if we have time. So first of all, we have all of us, the 4 of us, myself, Servo. I do a lot of the talking, so get used to that. Then we also have the wonderful, the direct edition.
Not paying attention.
How's it going?
He's
dang
following along on his phone.
I was watching the presentation on my phone.
He knows what's up. Then we have Moose.
Howdy.
That's it. It's just Moose.
Yeah, it's just Moose. I just sit around and be goofy sometimes.
He's just great.
I got the easiest job in the whole squad.
And then we have our wonderful video editor, and he's just so articulate, Jono.
Hi, I'm Jono.
Nice articulation.
So as you guys can see, we're from Jacksonville, Florida. We got together over a lot of different things. Anyone here play Magic the Gathering? That's a lot of quite a few of us met over that, and then we brought Lad into the fold last year.
Yeah.
The D&D set got him.
It did.
He just reeled him right in. So let's get a little bit of information about you guys. Who here already streams on any platform or has streamed before? A couple of you guys.
Yes,
all right, cool. About 10 of you. All right, perfect.
I see a little hesitation there. If you've
It's
done
okay.
it before,
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
this is
Go ahead, raise your
this is
hand.
going to be a partial participation type of panel. So just get ready.
Instagram
Okay.
Live still counts, kind of.
All right. Who here is affiliated on the platform that you stream on? Nice.
All
Okay.
right.
Good. For those of you who don't know, that means you have to have at least 3 people watching your stream on Twitch, if it's on Twitch, pretty much all the time, and at least 50 followers. So it's not that hard to do, but it can be a daunting task, especially if you're just getting started. So we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Anyone a partner? Partnered? No. Yeah, nice try.
No.
Not me.
All right.
No.
Now, so how many of you are watching this right now? You've literally never even considered trying streaming before until just this moment. Everybody else? Yeah.
Okay.
Who here is just like really tired from the line inside and you're just chilling?
Line was too long. Needed
Couple
a
of
place
you?
to
Yeah,
sit.
I know.
Heard there were
I didn't put it
shirts.
in the presentation, but I knew there was going to be a few. I mean, I like to go to the panel right after lunch, just sit and maybe fall asleep a little bit. So my last question, of course, is, well, if you're not streaming already, well, what's stopping you?
What are some of your barriers that you come in contact with?
Was it?
Your job, okay? That
That's
makes
fair.
sense. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Okay, that's a good one.
Did I hear someone say a PC?
Need a PC? Yes, we do. No, really,
No,
we
we
do.
actually got solutions for that. You're a
We'll-
console gamer?
There's a
Okay,
way,
well, that
there's-
actually ties to
There's a way to get there.
That ties
Don't worry.
together, and we've got Dante. Where
Gotcha.
do you start?
Where do you start?
Right here.
All right, so we got console gamers. Work,
Job.
I know the struggle. That is my biggest struggle, is my work hours. And where do you even start?
Where do you start?
So this is where you start. First of all, you need something to stream with. Okay. Now, a lot of us may or may not be aware, but you can stream straight to Twitch and YouTube Live, Facebook, right off your phone. Okay. Now, depends on what it is you want to do, how you want it to look. Some people, like myself, I have a certain quality of stream that I like to achieve before I even hit start. And if it's not working, I'm like kind of a perfectionist in that way. But at the same time, I'm willing to do a little bit, more simplistic to make things work, to get what I want to get out there onto the internet. So if you're gaming or, I don't know, playing music or woodworking, or you just want to sit there and have a conversation with people about a topic, you can do any of those things straight off your phone. A lot of mobile games, let's say you're a mobile phone gamer, you can do that literally right off your phone. You can capture your phone screen from the Twitch app. That's all you need. Okay,
You can
very
do
simplistic.
cooking or eating streams too. One of our good friends that we've met actually is just about to hit partner and has just been doing cooking the entire time. They'll spend 2-3 nights a week just doing a 2-hour, 3-hour cooking stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
So
the barrier for entry for console, luckily these days, console, my one biggest recommendation if you're going to be doing streaming from console, try not to do it over a Wi-Fi connection out of your house. That is number one.
yeah, get an Ethernet cable, plug it in.
Run an Ethernet cable. It may be awkward. Take some thumbtacks and pin it up against the, run it along the ceiling so you don't make a trip hazard or something. But I would highly recommend for the console, do Ethernet.
Right. I'm primarily a console streamer.
Actually, yeah, I was about to say you're
So
more qualified.
I started off on the PlayStation 4 just by hitting the share button on my controller and just going from there. And that's how I started. I wanted to stream Ni no Kuni and 2 and Mad Max. Am I showing my age here? I get a lot of blank stares over here. But,
Those are games that exist.
Okay.
You wanted to play Fortnite? Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's how I started from my console. I just hit the share button and I went from there. Set it up. It's real easy to connect to your Twitch account and you just go.
Yeah, log in, get ready to go. Now, one thing that I highly recommend is having, of course, in addition to something to stream from, having a way to communicate. Microphone, okay? Simple microphone like this. Well, I say simple. This is probably one of the best microphones on the market, but it's you can get it at Best Buy for $150.
Yeah, roughly.
So, this is a nice one. You don't have to go this nice. Some of the partnered streamers out there that have been, have thousands of viewers, they stream off of a headset, and they're kind of known for it. Anybody know who Tyler One is? Okay, so
Sorry.
it's kind of his trademark.
Yeah.
So, if you want to be that person, hey, go for it.
Yeah.
Another thing would be potentially a camera. A lot of the consoles allow you to add a camera, and you don't have to have a camera. A lot of people do different things like VTubing, which is a little bit more advanced. Hit me in the Discord if you want to know about that. Or just streaming without a camera. I mean, as long as you can communicate and you're being vocal with your audience, you know, that's a good way to connect with people. You know, it kind of gives them a little bit, you know, more to think about. Maybe they will want to see your face at some point.
Yeah, and even on a console, you can just go to like Walmart or Best Buy and get like a $30-$40 USB camera, plug it right into the console, and it'll work just fine.
Yeah, Logitech C920.
Yeah,
Just it's cheap with good enough lighting. A Logitech C920, and then a microphone of your choosing. Throw some good lights behind it. You got yourself a stream. It's real low barrier for entry. That's what I started off on, and throw some lights on there, and all of a sudden, I got quality, baby.
Yeah,
it was good.
You can get them on. I mean, you can often get them on sale too, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
And then of course you want some type of monitor, so that, and I mean when I say monitor, I just mean any type of screen that you can pull up a browser on, so that when someone chats during your stream, regardless of what it is you're doing, you can see it. A lot of times, if you're just streaming off of one PC or one console, when you're gaming, it takes up the whole screen, and you have to sometimes go to another menu or something like that to pull up chat. That's a good way to get started, but it's a lot more fluid, and it's a lot more interactive, especially for the viewer, and for you, probably more fun if you can see right when they're talking, you know, so that it's a little bit more coherent with what you're doing.
Simple if you have just a smartphone, or if you have a tablet or anything that's just offhand that you can pull up on your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Kind of the same concept as like if I were to ask you guys, like, do you have any questions, and then wait to the end to answer them? It's like there's a big disconnect there. Now,
That's
of
fair.
course, what you guys saw in the video, not heard, unfortunately, but was a lot of different effects. You guys saw gaming with cameras and effects moving, things like that. That's a little bit more advanced. Now, we did this panel last year, and we didn't have any really talking about a lot of this stuff, but I wanted to talk a little bit about, for example, if you have a computer and a console, then what you need is a capture card. And all that does, I mean, you can get them very inexpensively.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's the way I started. I started console streaming, and I wanted more production into my streaming. So I went out and I got a laptop and a console capture card. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, and the capture card allows me to stream pretty much any HDMI. So I took my PlayStation, my Xbox, my Nintendo Switch. I just switch them out of the capture card, and I'm streaming from there. So.
Yeah, pretty much anything with HDMI on it can be plugged into it. So I mean, you know, your creativity is your limits.
And I was also gonna posit as well. There are applications now. I only know the PlayStation side of it, but you've got the PlayStation
Store.
Play. Well, no, there's
Play.
PlayStation Remote Play. Thank
Oh,
you. I
yeah,
can never remember the
yeah.
name of it. But if you don't have a capture card, or you're like, you're not really wanting to make the investment on the actual hardware for the capture card, just boot up your computer, boot up your PlayStation, do PS Remote Play, and then you just got your screen there. Make that a source for OBS. Don't even need a capture card. Quality will suffer a little bit because that is really dependent on your internet connection for it to make that translation to your monitor, and then you are also broadcasting. So, but it's a good way to get started without having to buy the hardware. I don't know
Xbox
if
does as well have one. It's called xCloud.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, there's
Thank you,
some
Xbox.
wireless solutions that you can use with different platforms, but for the most part, if you're just starting to move into, you know, a little bit more, if you're a gaming streamer, you'll want a little bit higher quality, especially for like fast-moving games and things like that. Like if you're playing FPS, it's a good idea. Now, one thing I already mentioned was like a microphone like this. Again, you could step it up to a really nice microphone like the one I'm speaking into now if you really want to get fancy.
Yeah.
The more you pay, pretty much is what you get. So there's that. Multiple monitors is something that I like to mention because it may seem like, you know, unnecessary, but at the same time, just like what I was mentioning with having to read chat and things like that, if you were getting into streaming, it's good to have just literally a visual reference for what's going on behind the scenes alongside what it is you're doing. Again, even if it's just you're playing guitar in front of the camera, it's nice to have a video of you so you can see a preview of what people are seeing on stream in addition to your chat window, whatever software you have running. Maybe you're using some music recording software. You can have that alongside of what you're doing. right there available, and it just it helps avoid a lot of quality issues in your stream.
Yes. I hope.
Now this one I like to pass to Moose because he had a great experience starting streaming with lighting. So Moose, tell him about your lighting experience.
So yeah, really. Before I got on with the Remnants, I had my own very, very small Twitch channel. Inconsistent schedule, low budget out the wazoo. Which is fine. Which is perfectly fine. Yeah, no. But the one thing I struggled with the most was the fact that why is my quality so absolutely terrible? The game's coming through fine. The audio was fine. I had a decent enough microphone. I was happy with that. Video quality was absolute garbage. So I'm like, oh my gosh. All right, so I get a Logitech C920. I'm like, okay, this is the one that was recommended to me to kind of start in the budget streaming realm. And it never got better. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm looking like, okay, I need like a $150 webcam or something. Like I need to get my quality up. Luckily, I knew this guy at the time.
Hi, I'm Jono.
I knew this guy at the time. And I'm just like, I'm losing my mind. I'm hitting him up and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And he's like, well, how's the lighting? And I'm like, I mean, I got a bulb right there. Like, it's in the ceiling right behind me. So, I mean, it's not that bad. And he's like, no, that's awful. You need to actually get some lights. Bought some really cheap lighting and just mounted them on the monitors. And it was like night and day. The lighting makes the entirety of the difference in quality.
Literally called me from Best Buy as he was looking at lights.
Yeah. So lighting, as you guys can see, there's plenty of good lighting. We have this huge light up here. It makes a huge difference when you're recording because, well, if you know how our camera works, it can't pick up something that's not there. And if there's no light reflecting off of you, everyone that's watching your stream is just going to see a nice dark black box. And it's not very entertaining if they can't tell what's going on. So that's one thing that I highly recommend, getting some lighting. Doesn't have to be fancy, just has to be enough to make sure that you can be seen and what you're doing can be, understood. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elgato's probably one of the more popular ones, but there's quite a few other ones. Again, if you want to hit me up afterwards, I can show you quite a few.
There's quite a lot of them. I've
gone
through the AverMedia line.
Yeah.
I didn't recommend it. They were very difficult to work with for me. But
I was gonna say I had one that I bought for I think $40 off of Amazon. Works perfectly.
Yeah, it was like someone in our Discord was asking about one, and they bought like a $20, $30 just knockoff one off of Amazon, and it's 1080p full capture, and they haven't had a problem with it since.
Yeah. So you can
Just
get by
depends on what
with
you
certain things. You just it's just like Amazon with anything else. You just gotta be kind of careful what you buy.
Moral of the story: you don't have to go to Elgato's website and like, okay, I'm going to take my streaming super serious, and you don't have to buy out their entire stock. You can find offshoot stuff that does perfectly what you need and more.
Right. And we're by no means saying, if you want to start streaming, then I'm sorry, go ahead.
She was saying that there's a lot of influencer lighting that you can get at Five Below.
Yes.
And I've picked up some myself.
Yeah.
There's actually one of the lights right there in the bag.
I have one of those as well.
Yeah, it's very inexpensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, if money is a big thing for you, hit us up in the Discord. We'll help you find deals to find equipment.
Yeah,
Shameless plug, join our Discord.
Another thing that I was going to mention is green screen. A lot of times you'll see people using a green screen or chroma key, you might have heard it called. It basically cuts out the background. Let's say you're streaming from your bedroom and you don't want everyone to see the pile of clothes that you've accumulated on your bed that you said you were going to put away. All right? You don't have to worry about that. Put the green screen up. But a lot of these can be expensive. Well, guess what?
I don't have the pile.
Just the other day, I double-checked. You can go to Walmart and have them cut you lime green fabric by the foot. I think it's like $1.60. Yep. And you can pin that stuff right up on the wall, and it works perfectly. But the thing just above that we mentioned, lighting, is really the only thing that you need. It has to have nice light on it to make it work.
I think I've even seen green screens that you can attach to the back of your chair.
Yes, you can.
Your gamer chair, and it will block out everything.
Yep.
There are.
Oh, the one that looks like a peacock.
Yeah, like a peacock
behind you. Oh yeah.
Don't be fooled by just buying out green screens off of Amazon that are way too expensive. You don't have to get the Elgato one. You can
Right.
literally go to like a fabric store.
I was going to say go to Joann's.
That's what I was
Yeah,
going to
that's what I
say.
was
Get the
saying.
green blanket.
Yeah, get a green blanket. You can pin it up
Yeah.
to your wall. It'll key out the exact same way. Trust me.
As long as you light it well.
I used to have the entire 3 walls of my room covered in green screen just to
Yeah.
key out every single possible thing.
I remember that.
Cheap fabric. Excellent.
And of course, we mentioned a little bit about some Elgato products, but one thing that I really like that I'm going to talk about it very quickly, but it's the Stream Deck. It's a little panel of some hotkey buttons that you can have just on the side of your computer. And even if you're not streaming, I would definitely recommend getting one because you can program it to do pretty much anything. Opening programs, setting up different sequences, things like that. Super easy. Now, let me talk about real quick broadcasting software. Now, if you're running your stream from a PC, if you're getting to the point where you're starting to do a little bit more advanced stream, a little bit more, okay? This is very simplistic. This broadcasting software, the top one you'll see is called OBS Project, okay? All it does is it takes your camera or your capture card or whatever, and it lets you say, like, hey, anyone here use Photoshop before? It's basically Photoshop for broadcasting. It says, okay, here's your camera. Where do you want to move it? You can resize it. You can add effects to it, filters. There's tons of plugins out there on the internet. I won't waste time going into the details about it, but there's a bunch of different ones that you can find. Streamlabs OBS is another popular one. They offer a lot of pre-made plugins that allows you to, like, if you're not so graphically, graphic design inclined, they have a bunch of stuff pre-made. Hey, plug your camera in. There's a little box. Hey, Korg, how's it going? And you can just, go. It's amazing. It's actually really good. And it brings a lot of attention to you and your viewers. Their names will pop up in the little, pre-made stuff. It's great. Now, some of the other programs I mentioned that I listed here, XSplit, Twitch Studio, vMix, they're very basic, but it's perfect if you're just getting started. You just want something that's bare bones.
Yes.
Or if you have a computer that doesn't run everything so well, OBS, the more you add to it, the more graphics card processing power you need.
Yes.
If you got something that's a little bit more simplistic, like the one I used to stream off of when I got started was a Windows Vista computer. This was 4 years ago. Okay, I ran XSplit and it ran great. I was just playing Super Nintendo games, but it worked really well. So you can do one of those, Lightstream, AverMedia again. You could try it if you want, but
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know that
hit or
I would
miss.
recommend it. I put it at the end there so that I could say, stay away.
It is an option.
The Elgato one works specifically with the Elgato capture card. So if you're using that, you can use it. It's good for recording, but I wouldn't recommend it for streaming.
Yeah. The one benefit of I personally ship OBS simply because it's just so easy of, oh, okay, here, do it by layers. Here's my audio inputs, and you get your volume mixers and everything all in one nice configurable interface, and the plugins available for it, and all of the other open source projects that work directly with it. It's like Skyrim. You can add 1,000 potato mods and stuff directly to it, lickety split. And you can also overburden it, however, on that same token, just like you can with Skyrim mods. So,
And
speaking
if
of
you're opening up
overburden,
OBS for the first time, it can be very, very daunting. Don't worry, we will have tutorial videos coming up soon on those.
Yes, we will. Yeah, if you guys check out our stuff, we're definitely going to have some tutorials coming. I'm sure you can find a lot of them on the internet, but just so you know, a lot of that stuff is kind of outdated. And OBS is something, being open source, that they update all the time.
Literally
so
every week.
It can get confusing, but again, if you guys have questions, just find us. We'll help you. It's kind of what we're here for. Now, one thing I wanted to mention about that, just like Moose was saying, you can kind of overburden it. Well, you might want to overburden it just a little bit, okay? Because customization, especially for your stream, we're talking about creating content, okay, is very important. You want to stand out from the rest of the crowd. You see, the folks around you who are watching this panel right now is a small modicum of the amount of people who actually stream. So as streaming becomes more and more popular, you're going to have to, if you want to make it just more than a hobby, you're going to have to, make yourself different from everybody else, right? Well, I mean, we already are, but you have to show that to the people that are watching.
Right.
Okay. So when you do that, when you customize your stream, when you make it your own, you take a little bit of who you are. For example, like in the clip you saw, like a lot of my scenes and stuff are black and white because I'm like, heavy metal and, I like the occult and I like, like the Matrix and shit like that, like that's what I like. But if you look at Lat's stream, for example, like his logo, it looks like a superhero and, a lot of his like chat elements and things, it looks like it's straight out of a comic book. 2 guesses as to what Lat likes, okay? Yeah. Likes comic books and shit like that. No? Oh, okay. I was mistaken. All right, my bad. Second thing, Moose mentioned earlier about inconsistent schedule, okay? Your scheduling is super important. Now, this gentleman mentioned about that his job is getting in the way of his streaming, okay? Well, not to simplify my answer too much, but just make your streaming schedule around what your work schedule. If you've only got maybe an hour to yourself at night to get things together, stream for an hour. Set it up one night and then have it ready to go the next night. Hit the button, turn it on, stream for an hour or 45 minutes so you got 15 minutes to dip out.
And I definitely know about schedule. And because I can tell you, I got a full 9 to 5. I got 2 kids.
Me too.
And they got soccer and they got karate and they got dance and they got everything under the school, under the sun was school and all of that other stuff. So I have to make my streaming schedule fit around all of that. And we're not saying go in and do a full 5 days a week stream or anything like that.
No, absolutely not.
It may be one week that I can only stream 2 days. It may be one week that I can stream 1 day. But the point of the matter is that I'm communicating that with my community. Hey, I'm going to be on this time at this week and because of this reason and whatnot, and then I show up that day. If I say I'm going to be there, I show up that day.
Yeah.
Yes, good call.
It just make it, like I said, consistency is key. So even if it's once a month, hey, if I show up to your stream one time and I know that you're streaming at the same time next month, you better believe I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's the only time I'm going to get to see that content again. And if it's really that entertaining, oh yeah, I'm going to make time. So
There's also another important thing that you mentioned in there is if you only have an hour to stream, only stream for an hour. Don't think that you have to stream for these crazy 8 to 12 hour days or like Ludwig's 31-day subathon. Don't think that you have to go like above and beyond. Like take it at your own pace. Stream to what you feel comfortable doing until you can find a schedule that'll make it more, or if you want to do more, if you want to do less. Stream to what you're comfortable with.
Yes, and I will say, as far as my statement earlier, consistency is key. I'm going to really date myself on this one, but treat it like you're an episode of Seinfeld. You're coming on at 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday on Fox, back when TV, when I had to either record the things I wanted or I had to catch it live when
What's
it aired.
TV? What's Seinfeld?
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm
What's
trying to think of a
Fox?
modern day equivalent, but there's VODs and everything like that. So I'm like, I'm just going to go grab my cane and walk off the stage. Do you want that, John?
the
But
part
have
is to,
a specific so get it in people's heads that, hey, it's 7 p.m. on Wednesday. I could hop on Twitch right now, and this person that I like watching will probably be there. And if you are there, that is going to speak volumes over time. Have a schedule, communicate schedule changes, get a Discord going, but always shoot for consistency above all else. Duration is not that important, but consistency is huge.
Yeah, exactly. And you actually covered a couple of things that I was going to say just now, was that, if you have a schedule, then you want to be planning your content in advance, okay? Like, for example, let's say you're one of those people that you can only stream one time a week. Well, you want to be putting it out there, hey, on this stream, this is what we're going to be doing for that hour, so that people know ahead of time, oh, okay, this is something that I want to tune in for because I know what's going to be going on. Be social with it. If you use Twitter, if you use Facebook, if you use whatever, go ahead and add that into your post. Even if it's just kind of as an aside, you're just letting people know what's going on. Hey, yeah, I'm going to be doing a live learn on guitar so you guys can hear me play and sing or whatever it is you're doing. Okay, but last but not least, when it comes to content creation, have fun, Okay, it's supposed to be a fun thing.
Yes.
All right, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. But also have a purpose. Okay, a lot of times it is fun to just get on and record yourself and see what happens. But if you're really moving into the realm of I want to create content and I really want it to be something meaningful, well, make it meaningful. Have a purpose behind it. You're doing it because, for example, Lat does Extra Life charity, and we've all done different charities in the past, but I would say he's probably the one that does it the most.
Agreed.
So you could do something like that, or even if it's just, you're really enthusiastic about learning how to play guitar. I keep using that example, but it's something that it's really cool to see the journey that people take through both streaming and showing other people what it is that they're doing. Okay, maybe you're learning how to, I don't know, make tiki sculptures or something. I don't know.
I've watched someone program a game from start to finish.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of devs that
Super
live stream
entertaining.
them making their indie games. It's
And
really
that's-
cool.
those
Now, I've got about 5 minutes left to talk about everything else on the slideshow, so I'm going to kind of blast through this one. But last but not least, and this is kind of the least interesting one, but also you can get more details from us afterwards.
Yeah,
But when
we'll
it
be
comes to
hanging out
branding,
afterwards.
or analysis of your stream, these are the things that I would say are the most important. A, you want to keep the viewers that you've got. If you got one guy that is, or lady, or in between, or whatever, that is really interested in your stream, okay, then you obviously want to keep that person coming back.
You
Okay?
get the duct tape out.
They kidnap them. No. What you want to do is you make sure that the first time that person comes into the stream, you're both responding to anything that they say. Okay, you're making it a welcoming environment for that person, and that you're encouraging them to interact with you and to come back. Okay, that way, not only is it a more social experience, if I am just talking to you guys and not, like, for example, asking questions, you guys are going to be like, oh, well, okay, that happened. I don't know why, but, it's more interactive, it's more social, and you're building your community in that way. Yes, sir. I'll come right back to that. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. So, secondly, your brand. Like I talked about earlier with customization, okay, one of the main things that you'll see when you look at our streams, for example, Jono, he's got an interest in horror movies. Like I mentioned, Lad's got an interest in comic books. I would say Moose is probably our fighting game enthusiast, although he's got other interests too. Okay. When you look at the stream that we do, it's kind of around those elements. We have an aesthetic, we have a theme, and you'll see my little logo in the corner and things like that. When you're wanting to bring your brand into the stream, okay, make it unique, make it something that's eye-catching, and then also, like, don't forget to promote it. Like, you're not gonna hear me forget to say, make sure you follow me and subscribe or whatever on YouTube and Twitch or whatever, because even though, yes, I'm saying, come follow me, well, if you don't say that, then how are people going to even know? They're just going to sit there and watch you and be entertained and then go on to do the next thing afterwards, okay?
You gotta trigger that response in their brain, like, oh yes, there is a subscribe button.
Yeah,
I should
exactly.
probably click that. I have a free Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Everyone-
Remind people of that. Yes.
Everyone starts nice and small, and then by doing that, you will slowly or quickly, depending on how cool you are, expand your stream. That's just how it goes. Okay, so
Hopefully
that
not.
goes along with growth. Okay, when you're engaging your community, okay, and you're adapting to what's going on around you. Let's say I don't know, you have technical issues one week. Well, you're gonna go ahead and schedule your stream for the next week. You plan around it, no big deal. Those people are gonna come back, and then you're going to move on to whatever it is. Like, let's say you're speed running. Maybe next week you don't want to speed run. Maybe you want to play Warzone. Okay? Do it. Try it out. See how your audience reacts. And then afterwards, you can use social media to communicate with your audience. Make sure you're posting about what you're doing. And then look at analytics. Right here, I have a website called Sully Gnome, which I pulled some screen grabs. This is our actual analytics from our channel, which you can see, it goes up and it goes down. That's just kind of how it is. But you can see it tells me how many different games we've been streaming, how many hours, shows me who watched what streams, and it gives you that information to say, oh, well, I've been playing a ton of Warzone and people really enjoy that, but that one time that I played guitar on stream, like twice as many people watched that. Yeah. So, you know, when you're planning your content for next month, you can go, oh, maybe I need to switch it up a little bit. But be realistic with it. It is just a tool. It's just showing you what happened in the past. It's not predicting the future. If you want that, come to my stream.
Nice.
And then last but not least, I'm sure you guys know who this guy is, or at least the guy next to him. And a quote that we like to use is, the way to get started is to quit talking about it and begin doing it. And that's what I hope you guys do after this panel. So get your phones out, stream the con, enjoy the con. Yeah. We hope to see you guys around. And if you guys have any questions, unfortunately, we've already run over time, so we'll be nearby. If you guys have specific questions, I'd like to answer your question about speedrunning.
Answer
and
speedrun
giveaway as well.
And we're going to be doing the giveaway. If we don't get a hold of you, if I pull a name that's not here, we'll send you an email. We'll get it to you. Okay. Here's the social QR code if you want to walk up and scan it while we're getting broken down and out of the way for the next panel. Thank you guys all for coming. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Huge round of applause for the folks at Remnant Gamers kicking things off here on Friday. Hope you guys learned quite a lot. Stick around. Coming up next at the top of the hour, we have a Webtoon ambassador, worked for DC Archie Comics, and we're going to talk about bringing comic books to life in audio form. It is voicing and producing comic dubs. Stick around.